Caitlin, and this is Book Chats. I want to make sure you guys know that my December event around rereads is still happening. In fact, I have a couple friends that I recruited to help me make just a couple little things, and they have made it 1,000 times better already. Really, the idea behind this is to have a chill December, to enjoy rereading things in December, and to feel like rereading is not a thing that you can't do. I have 4 kind of like categories that you can like fit into if you like, but like they just get you bragging points. They don't get you anything else. I was kind of inspired by Nonfiction November, which has even more amorphous kind of categories they have. You can choose to run with these categories or these challenges or not. It's really no problem. The other thing is I've recruited my friend Stephanie from Shine Notebooks over on Instagram. She has agreed to put together kind of a weekly Instagram challenge that will be tied in with this, and that will be coming up sometime in the next couple weeks. And I will definitely like put out links on Twitter to it when I have it, and I'll put a link in this description retroactively when I have a link to that. And then I want to also shout out and thank my friend Laura, who I had a logo for this. You guys can see the logo in this video. It's like super great, and I'm gonna make it available to people if you want to like put it on your videos when you talk about your rereads or whatever, just to declare yourself part of my reread event. Yeah, I made up a really terrible logo myself, and I sent it to her to just like be like, hey, is there anything like that's gonna make designers' eyes bleed? And she was just like, how about this? And she spit back this beautiful logo at me that you can see. I'm just gonna put it on the full screen right now. See how pretty it is? See how it's beautiful. So I'm just gonna put that back in the corner. Put that back in the corner. All right, that is the logo for this event. I'm so grateful to Laura as well. I'll put links to people down below. But I'm so grateful that she took my like really appalling logo and made it into something actually pretty. Clearly I didn't make this myself. It actually has real artistic skill like put into it. And you guys know I don't ask that. Which is why my lighting is always so terrible and my sound is mediocre in these videos. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm very grateful that you still watch my channel. But yeah, so the idea of Reading Rewind 2017 is just to take the month of December and focus on those rereads you wanted to do all year, but you just have felt too pressured by reading 2017 or new books that you haven't read before. And finally, you know, take a step back. You can create those, you know, create your best of lists, and then focus on rereads for the rest of the year. Give yourself a break, reread those books you want to reread. And I made up categories so we can, honestly, these are selfish. This whole event is selfishly, I wanted to do this and I'm making you guys join me because I'm an extrovert and I don't do things alone well. So the first category I have is a comfort reread. Comfort reread is honestly like just a book that it's, you know what's happening, it's comfortable, you reread a book that taught you something. So my friend Stephanie was helping me come up with these, and she was like, Caitlin, not everyone reads nonfiction. And I was like, wait, you thought that category is for nonfiction? And I see why, because I told her that this category exists because I need to reread a book called The Hoarder in You, which is about personal organization, and which you guys can't tell because I only let you see this much of my apartment when I film, but my apartment is appallingly messy. And it doesn't just need to be cleaned, it needs to be organized. So in organizing, I need to get rid of some things, and this book will help me with that. I've read it previously, and I need to reread it. I have needed to reread for, like, personal development, and so I mentioned those to Stephanie, and she thought, like, not everyone reads nonfiction, like, what are you talking about? And I realized that I hadn't explained the category well enough. So when I say a book that taught you something, it doesn't have to be a book that, like, taught you how to organize your life, or taught you how to negotiate. It could literally be just a book that, like, taught you how to think about someone differently because it's the first time you read about, like, a book I could read for this category would be Eleanor and Park, because Eleanor and Park is one of the first books that I read that had a character who was, like, genuinely poor, and not, like, a glamorous poor or, like, a Great Depression poor, but, like, in roughly the modern day. I mean, it's the 80s, so it's not really the modern day, but, like, a character who's poor and powerless, and that taught me a lot about myself, and it taught me kind of about what that might be like. Choose a book that taught you something. It doesn't even have to be, like, the message of the book. Maybe just, like, at one moment in the book, one of the characters decided to, like, I don't know, talk about their theory of all the Harry Potter houses really just being gangs, and, like, it being a gang war, and then that taught you, like, to look at something differently. So please feel free to make this category as broad as you need to, or just skip them all together. You don't have to follow categories, that's fine. This is like a very loose event that is occurring. There is not a lot of like strict rule following that's going on. For category number 3, it's a book that you need to review. So I have several books that I either read before I was really doing comprehensive reviews or before I had this channel, or I read them and I just really struggled with them and then I moved on and I forgot to like write my thoughts in a really constructive way. And I have wanted to review them ever since. I also have a couple books that I want to make like bigger videos on, but I want to reread them so I have like a better idea of like what I'm really highlighting. We're gonna see how many books I successfully reread in December, but it's going to be at least one. And you know what? You only have to reread one book to successfully complete this challenge. That's not really a challenge, but anyway. And then the last category I have is a book your opinion might have changed on. This could go either way. So this could be a book that you loved in the past that is your comfort reread that you recently realized might be very problematic. And then it could be a book that goes the other way. So maybe it was a book that you read it and you didn't really like it, or you didn't really, well, you weren't really feeling it, or you had to read it for school and it was like yawn. But now, like, you've heard other people talk about it, and you think maybe you would like it more now. My opinion might have changed, but it might not. And the only way to know is to reread it. So I have to reread it. So that's all of the things that are happening. And then I just want to put out there, I am still developing the details behind this, but I am 90% sure that I'm going to have a small giveaway related to this event, and it's specifically focusing on that review portion. So you guys might know that I'm pretty passionate about reviewing on Goodreads, on retailers, on BookTube itself. And one of the reasons, I mean, straight up one of the questions that I have is a book you need to review. Like, you have to reread it so you can review it better. This giveaway will be focused on books that you reread and then review in the month of December. And so if you reread a book and then you write a review of that reread, or you, like, you didn't have one before at all, or you rewrite your review, so you come back to it and say, my opinion of this book has changed, or I want to put more details into this, or here are specific examples that I pulled about why this book is problematic. That review basically will be your entry. So I will be putting a little thing together, and I will hopefully put a video together and announce it right at the beginning of December. And I should actually do like a real TBR, guys, but we'll see. Anyway, that giveaway will be open, and you each place your review is an entry. So you can enter with the same review multiple times if you have it on YouTube and on Instagram. And I don't really know if people review on Instagram, but if they do, and if you have that review on Goodreads, and you have that review on Amazon, and you have that review on barnesandnoble.com, you can link to each of those reviews separately as a separate entry. And so I just really want to encourage people to not just reread, but to take the time to think about their rereads, to review their rereads, and to post those reviews as widely as possible. And yeah, that giveaway will be, I hope, for a Nerdy Post gift card. They don't have gift cards yet, but hopefully they will. And if they don't, it'll be for something Nerdy Post related, because I deeply, deeply love and adore Nerdy Post. But yeah, so that whole thing will be like more clearly defined and announced closer to December. But I wanted to let you guys know that this is still happening. Reading Rewind 2017, it's cool, and I am gonna put something together probably on Twitter as a pinned tweet that has the logo, so you guys can swipe that logo and use it yourselves to identify yourself as part of Reading Rewind 2017. I'm so excited. Thank you for coming along this journey with me, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!